Deep in the series where we're discussing about daring, I am just getting more content, more information about the subject matter. It tells me how important it is and how important the divine is just downloading this stuff. Actually, today I remembered watching a clip, about 6-minute clip, and might play some of it here for you to listen. It's Will Smith talking about his skydiving, and there's no better way of talking about daring than to listen to Will Smith. Let me just play you a clip here a bit and then we'll see.
So, for me, the daily confrontation with fear has become a real practice for me since about three years ago. I went skydiving in Dubai, right? And skydiving is a really interesting confront with fear, right? So I gotta stand up. I gotta stand up. All right. So all your friends, what happens? You go out. I dropped my thing. So what happens is you go out the night before and you take a drink with your friends and somebody says, "Yeah, we should go skydiving tomorrow." And you go, "Yeah, we'll go skydiving tomorrow." Yeah. And you go, "Yeah." And everybody goes, "Yeah." Right? And you go home, you by yourself, you're like, Right? You're like, well, yeah, I mean, they was drunk too. Right? So maybe they not, maybe, I mean, we don't have to go. We don't have to do it.
So it's interesting that you can easily get that clip on YouTube. Just go to YouTube and type Will Smith on skydiving, something like speech. Will Smith on skydiving. Very interesting, talking about daring. But I want us to look at one of the benefits that we get when we go on a dare. And we're going to reference Will Smith on the very last thing that he says in this one. Stay tuned.
Welcome to the Life Signatures podcast with Lawrence Namale. Lawrence is a life coach, author, and keynote speaker who loves to tackle different topics on purpose, productivity, and resilience. His mission in life is to awaken all your boundless possibilities available in you. Life Signatures podcast is dedicated to bring to reality every single person who knows that deep down in their gut, there's got to be more to life than this. And now, here is your host, Lawrence Namale.
Yeah, so for good measure, if you really want to get inspired with that true story of Will Smith skydiving, go to YouTube and just type in there Will Smith skydiving. You're going to get it. But we're discussing here the importance of going on a dare in your purpose pursuit, or maybe daring the impossible in your purpose pursuit. One of the things that happens is that you're going to grow. We discussed that 2 episodes back. Yesterday we said that you're going to stretch your potential, and your potential can only be stretched to the degree that you're going to go on a dare. Potential is untapped, unused energy, and if there is no dare, there is no potential being burnt, or the fat of potential being burnt. But today, the third advantage of you and I going on a dare is that our worlds are going to be opened up. We will never be the same again. You see, without a dare, you remain in the same district, the same village, the same vicinity. What you knew is always what you have always known. There is nothing new. What you've experienced is always what you've experienced. Your heart rate has always beaten that fast. It is never faster, never slower. I mean, there are no scars on your body. There is no growth in your mind anyway, because you are always there in the same old. Some guys have never been on a train. It will be a dare for you to go on a train. Some have never been on a plane. It will be a dare for you to go on a plane. And so on and so forth. I've never been in a helicopter. But I'm not talking about all that stuff. I'm talking about daring something that is connected to your purpose. Will Smith's dare was not necessarily connected to his purpose. He was doing it probably on his 50th birthday, and it was for fun and so on and so forth. But I'm talking about going on a dare, something that really scares you. But one of the advantages thereof is that you are going to have your world open up. Let us listen to Will Smith once again, even as we continue with this.
And your stomach is terrible. You can't eat and everything, but you don't want to be the only punk who doesn't jump out of this airplane. So you get there, and then you have this safety brief. And you're standing there, and the guys that say, well, if the chute doesn't open, what's going to happen is you're doing, well, why the hell, what could happen? But the chute wouldn't open, right? So you do a thing, and what you do is your first jump, you're attached to a guy who is going, he's going to walk you out. So you go, and you get there, and there's an airplane, and nobody's stopping. Everybody's still going. So you get onto the airplane, and you're sitting there, and it's extra because you're sitting on some dude's lap, some stranger. You're sitting on his lap, and it's like, you're trying to make small talk. Yeah, man. So you be jumping with people all the time, huh? Right, so and then you just want to make sure, you got kids, right? You got people you need to see, right? You just want to make sure he's serious, right? So you get in there, so everything's normal. So you fly and you go up to 14,000 feet, and you notice there's a light. It's red and it's yellow and green, right? So right now the light's red. So then you start thinking at some point the light's going to go green, and you don't know what's going to happen, right? And you wait, and it goes yellow. And the light goes green, and somebody opens the door, and in that moment you realize you've never been in a freaking airplane with the door open.
Yeah, it's a dare. It doesn't happen on a daily basis. It is a dare. And I think when we expose ourselves frequently to that kind of an environment, where we are doing the impossible, things that we've never done before in our lives, our worlds, let me tell you this, when I talk about our worlds being opened up, I don't just mean the external world, the physical, geographical world. That one is a given, it's going to open up. But also the internal working of our worlds are open up. In fact, we get to be acquainted with ourselves. There's this guy who called Coach John Wooden. I think he said that the moment when we are in despair and in distress, and I can add when we are in a dare, that's the moment that we are most acquainted with ourselves. We don't know who we really are. Bob Marley said that at times you have no idea what you can do until what you can do is the only option that is left available for you. That's when a dare comes in. We get acquainted with ourselves. Our worlds are opened up. You see, you can see a prisoner becoming a prime minister in one day because he dared to do the future impossible. This impossible feat was to protect the known world from famine. 7 years. His world was opened up. Now the prisoner was second in command to the world's greatest kingdom of that time. When you're talking about the Prince of Egypt, there are two princes of Egypt, and I'm talking about Joseph. When you dare to do the impossible, you will go to places, meet people, and learn things that you will not otherwise have achieved by just seeking to do the bare minimum and just to pay bills. So if you want to go places, if you want your internal world to be opened up, and that's what I want us to learn from Will Smith, your internal world being opened up, you're going to go on a dare. But I'm talking about the external world. You will meet people you've never met when you dare. You go to places you've never gone when you go on a dare. There's a friend of mine that I interviewed in these episodes on Wednesday's conversations. He's called Joe Bayanga. This guy decided to walk for the very first time. He decided to walk, take a journey from Kampala all the way to his hometown in southwestern Uganda called Bushenyi, a place called Bushenyi, about 300 or so kilometers, walking there to create road safety awareness. His world was opened up in terms of sponsors, meeting people he's never met on the streets, literally, and the whole print and electronic media coming alive to this. It will never have happened if he wasn't on a dare. And the same thing that we get to benefit when we go on a dare. Our worlds are opened up. Our worlds get opened up when we go on a dare, but our worlds get closed up when we stay where we just are. Let us listen again to Will Smith talking about our internal world being opened up.
Right? Terror. Oh, sorry, I'm spitting. Oh, sorry. No, terror. Right? So you go, and then, if you were smart, you sat in the back, so you don't go first, right? And then people start going out of the airplane, and you go, and the guy walks you up to the end of the thing, and you're standing, and your toes are on the edge, and you're looking out down to death. And they say, on 3. And they say, 1, 2. And he pushes you on 2 because people grab on 3. Right? Right? And you go, and you fall out of the airplane, and in 1 second, you realize that it's the most blissful experience of your life. You're flying, right? It doesn't feel like falling, right? It's like you actually are kind of held a little bit by the wind, and then you start falling, and there's zero fear. You realize at the point of maximum danger is the point of minimum fear. It's bliss. It's bliss, and you're flying, right? And you're doing that, and then 20 seconds, 25 seconds, 40 seconds, and you have enough time to just kind of be like, that's that building, I like that one. Oh, you can see the ocean.
The moment of maximum fear and maximum danger is the moment of maximum freedom and exhilaration. That's what Will Smith realized when he went on that particular dare. 2 worlds are opened up to us when we dare. The external world, but more importantly, the internal world. Tomorrow we'll look at another advantage of going on a dare. Until then, bye-bye.
Thank you for listening to Life Signatures Radio. If you enjoyed today's show, subscribe to Life Signatures Radio on iTunes, Stitcher, or visit our website at lifesignatures.libsyn.com. Life Signatures Radio, fresh, clean, and inspiring.